Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be reviewing Time Cut. This is a Netflix horror movie here for anyone that's wondering where I watched this. This movie takes place like 20 years technically in the past, or in the future, I should say. We essentially see a mass murdering of a bunch of high schoolers getting taken out within the span of like a week or so there within the start of the movie. And then we kind of jump ahead to 20 years down the line when um, a younger sister of someone who was um, a part of those murders earlier on in the movie kind of stumbles upon a time machine when going to her sister's grave, which I don't mind. I don't really like time travel in a lot of movies, but this movie it worked a little bit, but then at other moments it was just like, okay, really? Um, but she gets sent back to the date that her sister's murder started happening. One of her classmates ended up starting it, who we later find out to be the murderer is to be Quinn, one of probably the best supporting guests I've seen in one of these horror movies. I love him as an actor, Griffin Cluck. He's been great in everything I've watched him in. I really hope to see him in more movies, but he ends up being the killer at the end of the movie, which I had a little bit of a feeling of just because of the way the movie was pacing and vibed out to be. But essentially, he gets turned down because Summer's sister doesn't see him the same way he sees her, and he just goes on a whole spree of taking out everyone left and right and leaving her for last, essentially. But with Summer going back, um, or sorry, Lucy going back in time, we see like her meeting up with her parents, who don't know who she is, and they kind of just in a sense, cook her because they don't want to have a kid, this and that. They're happy, but in her time, her parents are very depressed and unhappy and all of that. So we see a nice little bit of storytelling here in this movie, which is nice to see because you don't get that in a whole lot of movies. But the story was relatively good. Not top tier, but still good. Towards the end of the movie, we see Lucy going back after taking out Quinn in his killer form. And then with that, her parents don't know who she is because her sister survived. So then she decides to just go back in time and essentially be that sister to Summer back in her time. So she messed with the whole timeline, and that's kind of just where it was left off. So I recommend going to watch this. I'd probably give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. We'll kind of see where my rankings go later on. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.